Exploring middle adulthood. I'm Reniqua.
I'm Eric.
I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Dylan.
And I'm Laura.
We're going to start by briefly introducing our interviewees. We're going to start with 53-year-old African American man by the name of Russell. He was born into a two-parent household.
Next, we have Lisa, a 48-year-old Caucasian woman who was also born into a two-parent household with two brothers.
Next, we have Megan, who is a 42-year-old Caucasian woman who was born and raised in a two-parent household.
Next, we have Robbie, who's a 40-year-old Caucasian man who also was born in a two-parent household with a younger brother.
So last we have Colleen, who's a 54-year-old Caucasian woman who was born in a two-parent household as one of six children.
So now we're going to get to know our interviewees. Our first question was, do you feel your childhood has impacted who you've become? Why or why not? So now we start with Russell, who exhibits conscientiousness, just like Robbie does. And conscientiousness is just defined as the propensity to follow social prescribed norms for impulse control, to be goal directed, to plan, and to be able to delay gratification. Russell's answer was, my stepdad taught me a lot about having a strong work ethic. He made me work hard, and I still work hard today. And then our next answer is Lisa, who exhibits extroversion like Megan. And extroversion is the general tendency to experience positive emotions, as well as traits such as sociable, lively, and active. Lisa's answer was, I was lucky enough to live on a street where we had approximately 30 kids in my age group. We grew up with ready-made friends. I guess this made me a more confident, outgoing person. Next, we have Robbie, who exhibits conscientiousness. I grew up in a strict household based on respect, integrity, and hard work. If I wanted anything, I had to work for it. We also have Megan, who exhibits extroversion. Her answer was, I grew up with two siblings in a household with both of my parents. I was very social in school, and I have a large family, which has helped me be more open to speaking to coworkers today. And lastly, we have Colleen, who exhibited agreeableness, which is a person's ability to put other people's needs above their own. And her answer was, I'm the youngest girl, and I grew up not only having brothers and sisters, but close friends of the household that taught me how to share. We didn't have all of the things that we always wanted, but we were never without the things that we needed.
So for our second question, it was, what influenced you to choose your current profession? So Russell had a traditional stable career, which means that he is likely to be in the same job until he retires. And so did Robbie. So Russell explains how he has his own truck company and he's been driving for years, so he'll likely do this until he retires. Robbie, as I said, is also a traditional stable career, and he said that after a few years of hard work at his job, he made his way up the chain of command, so he was able to surpass challenges. And then Lisa exhibits conscientiousness, as Dylan explained on the slide before. As she said, it's the necessity to get a stable income and provide for my children. Megan and Colleen both exhibit identity achievement, which means that they found a job that they found true to the sense of themselves and chose a career based off what they want. Megan said, I love the job that I have, and even though my parents wanted me to go on the medical route, I chose to do marketing, and I'm so thankful for that now. And Colleen also exhibits identity achievement, and she said, I'm not sure if my upbringing had anything to do with that, becoming a teacher, but I knew that it was something that could make me happy, and I knew that it was something that could make a difference and be an impact on other kids' lives, a lot like the teachers were for me.
Okay, our next question. Describe your current relationship status. If in a relationship, do you see this person as your life mate? Why or why not? If not in a relationship, why not? For this question, we got a variety of different answers that relate to things that we covered. Russell, Robbie, and Colleen's relationship exude commitment. Russell says, my wife is my life mate. She helped me start my business, invested time and money into helping me to purchase my first truck. Robbie's, I am married and I 100% found my life mate. Tara and I love each other very much, and we work hard daily to support each other and strengthen our bond. Colleen's, I am happily married to your father, and I'm going to be happily married to your father until one or both of us will not be living. Even when that happens, nothing will change that till death do us part. Lisa is not open to experience when it comes to relationships. She's comfortable with what she already has. I am not in a relationship because I don't want one. Plus, with work and the kids, I don't have a lot of time for a relationship. Megan has reached the final mate stage, which is the role phase, meaning that she and her partner have worked out their lives together. After Eric and I dated long distance for a few years, I moved in with him in Chicago, and we both realized that we exhibit a lot of the same goals and daily living tasks. After this, we began to plan our lives together.
The next question we asked was, are you currently involved in any activities or organizations? And if not, why? If so, why these and not others? Russell is a wise thinker, and he reflected cognitive and reflective traits of wise thinking just because he was able to examine his actions and use his knowledge to make decisions. And his response was, I used to ride motorcycles, but a couple of buddies of mine got into some pretty serious accidents, and I gave it up. I sold my bike and got out of the bike club. Lisa and Robbie both exhibit agreeableness, which we talked about earlier. Lisa said, I'm not a part of any activities or organizations outside of my children's sports or academics. And Robbie said, I'm not involved in any activities and or organizations. Unfortunately, between work, gym, and home life, it doesn't leave much room for any extracurricular activities. Megan and Colleen both exhibit intrinsic motivations, which means that they perform a task because it's personally rewarding. Megan said, I'm involved in some organizations when I have time between work and my children. I make sure the organizations that I'm involved with are rewarding to me, and I don't waste my time on ones that are not. And Colleen said that generally I feel like all these organizations bring something good out of me, or at all else are something that I'm interested in or just enjoy doing.
All right, so for our last question, we asked, do you have any children? If so, do you feel like they've impacted you as an individual? Why or why not? If not, what influenced your decision to not have children? So Russell fulfills the traditional breadwinner role in his answers, saying, my kids make me want more out of life because I know if I had more, I would give them more. And both Lisa and Robbie exhibited answers that had to do with a lot of generativity, meaning like a willingness to engage in acts that are promoting the well-being of younger people. And Lisa said, they also impacted my perspectives on life because they taught me to be selfless, and that's sometimes more rewarding to focus on others rather than yourself. And Robbie's answer was, I do not have any children. After years of trying it, it never happened to us. In my eyes, not having children has allowed my wife and I to mentor other children. I feel like coaching CrossFit has been my vessel for helping others, and it gives me great fulfillment. So Megan Moore exhibits a great work-life balance, saying, I have 2 children who have helped me have a better time management skills. I'm able to have ample time to spend with my children, my husband, activities I enjoy, and work. And Colleen's answer exhibited the self-transcendence characteristic of wise thinking, meaning that she makes her own decisions less on her own personal needs and more on the needs of others, saying, I don't know, sometimes like the worries you had when you were beginning to walk, where I didn't want to stumble and hurt yourself, so I walked funny behind you with my arms sort of out in the front of me to make sure that you weren't going to fall. It's not the same now, but figuratively, I'm still not trying to be corny or promotional, but I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying not to let you fail.
Our final thoughts and reflections are, it's interesting to see the differences between habits among specified ages, whether it's from 50-year-olds or to 40-year-olds. It was very interesting to hear about our interviewees describe theories and themes that we've covered in class without even knowing that they were doing so. It was awesome to compare the adults and see the differences between their opinions and specified life instances. Our interviewees were different ages, races, and came from different backgrounds, so it was cool to see their different ways of answering our interview questions. And then there were also notable similarities between all of their responses, reflecting typical midlife characteristics and transcending surface value differences. Thank you so much.